It's snowing today, and the whole city has gone nuts. Coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. Well, I grew up in Montana, where it snows a lot, and we deal with it a lot. And not only shoveling the walks and the driveways, but shoveling the roofs and a lot of snow. And I moved here to Nashville, and I realized that people just aren't used to very much snow. It doesn't snow here very often, and when it does, they really freak out. Went to the grocery store last night. They're predicting the snow coming, and so there's a lot of people in the store that rush there to get milk and bread, so they don't run out in case they're snowed in, as if that would really happen here. And they don't do a really good job of clearing the roads, so I understand a little bit of that. They also close down the schools, and we barely have enough to cover the ground. Not enough to close the schools. They'll close the schools if there are snow flurries. People are afraid of it. And the drivers are horrible. There's a lot of car accidents because people don't know what to do in the snow. And especially if there's a little bit of ice, they have no clue. What's the difference between them and the people that I grew up with? Well, people I grew up with knew how to drive in snow. We learned how to drive in the snow from the very beginning. When I took driver's ed, and I took it, by the way, the very first year they ever offered driver's ed, I was 15. And I got my driver's license when I was 15 because of it. Anyway, it was during the winter, and I learned how to drive in the snow. That's just what you do. And so these days I realize that, I'm used to it. I've experienced it. I know what I'm doing. But a lot of people don't. And I think, and here's the analogy coming, by the way, I think that's the way a lot of us live our Christian lives. Some of us have been around for a while. We've experienced a few things. We watch the younger Christians make some mistakes, and we're all over them. We're criticizing them. We're cautioning them. We're talking about how foolish they are. We forget that we all had to kind of go through that as well. And we all had to go through this difficulty of learning how to drive in snow, learning how to deal with it. But once you get it, you get it. It's not a big deal after that. It just becomes second place, as many of you know that drive in snow all the time. But I think it's a good idea if we allow our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ to learn how to drive. Encouragement goes a long ways. Instead of blasting them because they don't know how to do something because they haven't done it very much, we really ought to show them how. Give them some experience. Give them some direction, and give them especially some grace. So if there are younger Christians around that are making some mistakes and maybe saying things that aren't quite right, don't blast them. People do that all the time on social media. And I just feel bad for some of those people. Loving correction and encouragement is what God asked us to use. God bless you. Have a great day.